young, geologically speaking. And in fact, we had our highest resolution images cutting across Sputnik Planitia, so if there were craters there, we were going to see them, but we didn't detect any.
As a person, what surprised me the most was how beautiful the landscapes are on Pluto, with twilight hazes and a blue sky and big ravines, gorgeous mountain ranges that have snow caps on them. And although there are craters on the surface, and you can certainly tell it's a faraway world, I don't think there's a more photogenic planet other than our own in the solar system.
So the process for getting these procedures together is we build them, we then review them as a group, we look through the actual code, and then we test them on the simulator before uploading them to the spacecraft.
We actually did run everything through the hardware simulator.
We have a process for commands to go to the spacecraft. It's a rigorous process. Sequences are created, reviewed, tested.
Things were accelerated. Typically this period is 10 weeks long, and we were compressing it in 2 days.
But the careful testing took time, a resource that was in critically short supply.
It was the uplinking of the sequence on board the simulator that took a lot longer than anticipated. And so we made the decision to start loading what was already tested while we were still testing the back end of the sequence.
We were reviewing the script at the same time as we were testing the script, at the same time as we had to run some of the script on the spacecraft.
Nick Pinkine is grabbing the next set of commands hot off the simulator. Literally, the ink wasn't dry when we were handing them to the flight controllers for immediate uplink.
So I would work with the simulation to figure out how far along in the recovery they had got on the simulator, find a good break point to then go into the flight control team and say, okay, this is what we're ready to do.
The flight control team is the last line of defense of all the mission operations personnel that have to verify that the commands that we're sending to the spacecraft are what we intend, and so that we don't make a mistake that we can't recover from.
So literally the scripts that were running on the screens, like we were keeping track of where did we just finish. We finished at line 147. Okay, now we're going to pick up and do lines 148 through 215.
They were coming at us rapid fire, and as soon as a test was completed, the uplink request form was being written and signed off and run into the mock for us to get those commands up to the spacecraft with no time to chit-chat about it and talk about what we were going to have for lunch.
We always had to make sure we never got ahead of ourselves, where we didn't have a case where we were sending commands to the spacecraft that we hadn't tested already on the ground.
So in some ways we couldn't believe that we were doing this. While the back end was being fed through the simulator, we were taking the front end and plugging it into the spacecraft.
So we were stepping through it in real time to set the commands to the spacecraft before the bottom half of the recovery script had even been completely verified on the simulator. And again, that's not something that we would ever typically do. It's just we were under such a time crunch that we had no choice.
It was a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, at one point we were within 5 minutes of each other. The operations on board the console for the spacecraft were just 5 minutes behind where we were in the testing.
Some people have this idea that flight controllers are sitting there with their game consoles, telling the spacecraft to move this way and take this picture and, all right, do this, do that. And it never really works that way. This case was the closest we've ever gotten to that real-time joysticking of the spacecraft, where we were, as quickly as we could, getting our commands ready and sending them to the spacecraft.
Having to joystick the spacecraft to an extent just made things that much more challenging, with that much more pressure. But our hand was really forced to do that.
We were on the edge.
In an unexpected situation, there are always nerves. But in this case, we knew what was on the line.
For the mission ops team, there was no more day and night, no on or off the clock. It was coffee, catnaps in offices, and chocolate until they got this solved.
I came in expecting to work for an hour and go into the beach, so I was wearing my shorts and my sandals, and I ended up staying for 3 days.
At 8 a.m. on July 7th, we saw that the spacecraft had transitioned into what we call a 3-axis mode. And this is the mode that the spacecraft has to be in to take all those beautiful pictures.
It really wasn't until we saw the actual load up there, active, ready to go, that we could really be relieved.
And then we watched as the onboard sequence transitioned into the encounter sequence at about 12:30 Eastern Time on the 7th, at the exact time that we needed it to do.
Waiting for the final confirmation that we were on the primary sequence again was slightly nerve-wracking, but I think at that point we were all so tired that we just wanted to be done, and we had tested everything and gotten to that point. We were, again, confident that it was going to go the way we expected it to, but it was euphoria to see that it had actually happened. And I think we were all checking our watches or the clock on the wall to say, wow, that was really close. I think we had 4 hours to spare.
While Alice and the mission ops team waited in the mock, Alan Stern and the science team gathered to see whether their 26 years of effort was all for naught. As they saw new data arriving, they shared in the relief and euphoria.
Let's be honest, a 9.5-year mission, you're, 3 or 4 days from entering the encounter phase, where if that would have happened, the ground would have then at that point been completely out of the loop. So just having that much time to respond to a bus controller failure, it's way up there with some of the worst case scenarios that you can still recover from. The ground has just enough time to go in and save the day.
So when we recovered, there wasn't so much cheering as just okay, let's go get some sleep, because we've still got another very long 7 days ahead of us to Flyby.
But before sleeping, Alice, Carl, and the team joined in a pre-planned celebration to kick off the week of closest approach. Without the success of their round-the-clock efforts, there'd have been no flyby and no new science from Pluto.
It worked. Everything worked exactly as planned, and we had performed a reverse BCRT swap. We went back on the primary computer. We had reloaded all the memory. We had successfully done our flash burn.
You say a team is the sum of its part, but when you watched it happen, it was much, much more than the sum of the individual parts. We had risen to a higher level than we could individually. It was just simply amazing. People would see what was needed and they would just do it. It was a very memorable experience.
Con Sang and Ann Burbisher had been part of the team in South Africa. Now they were ready to fight the winds and chase MU-69's shadow.
Well, we're about to start in 10 minutes, alright. Alright. Handle time. Okay, we're doing the next minute. And I will tell you if I see the star disappear. Oh, I saw it!
No way.
I saw it. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Holy cow.
I actually saw it.
Holy cow.
No, I really did see it.
Several teams thought they'd seen the star went out. But Amanda Zangari worked all night to verify the telltale signature of an occultation. Finally, at 5:30 a.m., she thought she had enough data to show Mark and the team. All the guide stars aligned. But would the target star blink out?
Okay, we saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
Did you see it?
You saw it, right? That's it. We got it.
We as a team succeeded in getting not one, not two, but 5 different occultations. So we saw the star go out and come back as MU69 passed in front of the occultation star at 5 different locations.
The timing of exactly when the star blinked out and reappeared at the 5 different locations allowed the researchers to infer a shape for MU69. It looked like a possible binary object, 2 chunks of ice and rock orbiting close by or stuck together. Although that might complicate trajectory planning later in 2018, this was an incredibly important result.
It was like finding a needle in a haystack, and to be able to capture those 2 seconds just at the right time, where the sky was clear, where the winds were not more than 7 kilometers per hour, where all those conditions had to be given, you know, it was an incredible orchestration, and I think everything conspired for success. So this was critical data, not only to maximize the science return, but also to mitigate the risk to the spacecraft. It was like the night before Christmas.
I don't care what the weather is today. That's a great feeling. Here it is Tuesday. It's rainy, windy, cloudy, really nasty stuff for astronomy. And it doesn't matter. It's great. It can do whatever it wants as long as I can get out on my airplane back to Buenos Aires tonight. It could snow 10 feet tomorrow for all I care. But we got what we came for.
We are live at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland, counting down to a new year by following NASA's New Horizons spacecraft 4 billion miles from home, just minutes away from flying by the Kuiper Belt object nicknamed Ultima Thule, the farthest planetary flyby in history. Now, Ultima might be the space rock of the hour, but we've got a rock star much closer to home. Brian May, astrophysicist, New Horizons contributing scientist, and lead guitarist for the rock group Queen, tonight will debut a song inspired by New Horizons for this audience and an audience all around the world. Brian, like, New Year's is exciting enough. We get to celebrate it witnessing space history.
This is a night to remember. I'm so privileged to be here and be a part of this. Fantastic. We will never forget this moment.
You know, everybody always asks for the new year, what are you going to do in the year ahead? But we don't have to wait that long. There's some cool stuff happening in the next couple of days.
I can't believe what we're going to see. The thing is, we have no idea what we are going to see, which is what makes it so great, isn't it? So this is completely unknown territory, which is what makes us all so excited at this moment.
Okay, I think we need to get people stirred up. I mean, we've got 20 seconds to the new year. Everybody ready?
We're 20. We're 19.
There we go. Look, just a few more minutes. We'll count down 2018. And boy, do we have something left as we get past that new year. We are at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Welcome 2019.
Happy New Year, folks. It's a time for kissing and hugging, right?
Absolutely.
To do some of that.
Well, I'm going to work a little bit. Okay. So that was the first celebration. Now countdown to the next one. Brian, let's just get to what you've worked on, what inspired by New Horizons.
This is something that I worked on, having been privileged to be a part of this operation for the past few years. This is a song, this is my way of dedicating my respect to this team, which has put together this most incredible journey of all time. This is the farthest, the most distant rendezvous which has ever happened in history. So it's my privilege and my pleasure to introduce to you right now the world premiere of this new theme for New Horizons. Thank you.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Ready? Roger.
15 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have liftoff of NASA's New Horizons spacecraft.
The revelations of New Horizons may help us to understand better how our solar system was formed.
Ever seen before.
Thanks a lot. I hope it's a worthy tribute.
What an amazing way to start the new year. It was incredible.
Fantastic. I'm very happy.
Well-
Thank you for that response. Thank you for that. Thank you for dancing, you know.
I was hoping nobody would see that.
It was you.
We are going to continue our countdown to Ultima Thule. Happy New Year. We're going to come back on the air at about 12:20. In the meantime, we're going to listen to some other things that others have to say about New Horizons. We'll see you soon.
See you in a minute.
Hello, APL. I'm Walter Alvarez at the University of California, Berkeley. As a geologist who studies extraterrestrial impacts on our home planet, I'm just in awe of what you have done with New Horizons, actually going to the most distant planet and now even beyond. With my best wishes for a perfect flyby of 2014 MU69.
David Bren here, science fiction author, congratulating the New Horizons team on approaching Ultima Thule and the well-timed New Year's Day encounter, and adding that this kind of competence that we've seen a dozen times in just 2018 just isn't what we think of ourselves in this time of gloom. It's theologically significant that we're so good at this, at reaching out into the cosmos. And it is important that you other generations overcome the baby boomer anthem of I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Be proud as heck that you're a member of a species and a civilization, and yes, nations that are doing this kind of stuff. Be proud. Be assertively proud. Grab your neighbors by the collar and say, look what we are doing.
Hello, New Horizons. I want to wish you the best of luck in your encounter with Ultima Thule, the farthest world that humans have ever explored. I can't wait to see what you find.
Hello, Chris Pratt here. As you may know, I'm no stranger to guarding the galaxy. In fact, in my new film, The Lego Movie 2, the second part, you'll see my character Emmett take on aliens of all shapes and sizes. So you know I'm telling the truth when I say I've been to the extremes of outer space. And on New Year's 2019, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft is headed there too, 1 billion miles beyond Pluto, conducting the furthest flyby in history with a flight past the Kuiper Belt object named Ultima Thule. And small worlds like Ultima are the building blocks of the planets, and New Horizons is going to explore one of these icy time capsules for the very first time. How cool is that?
New Horizons, hi, Commander Chris Hadfield here. You are the steely-eyed, high-speed, fleet-footed messenger way out beyond the edge of what we barely understand. Safe travels and happy prospecting as you look at Ultima Thule on the way by, and Happy New Year.
Hi, New Horizons. I just want to wish you a happy flyby of Ultima Thule on this coming new year. We are so excited for your new adventure and cannot wait to see what you're going to bring back for us. Happy 2019.
Greetings, everyone, from the Space Show. Alan, to you and your entire New Horizons team, congratulations for an incredible job, a job very well done with the New Horizons mission. All of you and the spacecraft will enjoy a permanent place in space and human history for what you have accomplished. Way to go. And a very happy new year from all of us here at the Space Show to all of you.
Happy New Year, New Horizons spacecraft. You are about to fly by Ultima Thule, what we used to call 2014 MU69. It's an object way out in the solar system in the Kuiper Belt. We're going to learn more about those objects and about the origin of the solar system and where you and I came from. What a way to start the new year! Way to go, New Horizons! Snap those photos! Woo!
Hey, you guys, at the New Horizons mission, I'm Scott Stantis, creator of the comic strip Prickly City and the editorial cartoonist for the Chicago Tribune. Congratulations and good luck on your flyby of Ultima Thule, or, as us old people still like to call it, MU69. Good luck, you guys.
Say, gang, where's that New Horizons spacecraft passing on January 1st?
2014 MU-69.
Ultima Thule. Planetary Society can't wait to see those pictures.
Good luck, New Horizons.
Happy New Year from the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland. We have just celebrated our entry into 2019, and NASA's New Horizons spacecraft is just minutes away from entering the history books. At 12:33 a.m., New Horizons flies by a Kuiper Belt object nicknamed Ultima Thule, and at 4.1 billion miles from home, it's the farthest exploration of worlds ever. Our first close-up look at one of these ancient building blocks of the planets. Now, right now, New Horizons is not in contact with Earth. It's collecting data at a furious pace, filling its recorders to start sending pictures and other science back to us later today. But with NASA's Eyes on the Solar System program, we can see what New Horizons is supposed to be doing right now. I mean, it's the next best thing to being there, and we'll check on that throughout our program. Now, team members, family, and friends are all gathered here at the Applied Physics Lab to mark this amazing achievement. Now, I mean, just a few minutes ago, I mean, this building was rocking. And the man who led the New Year's countdown and debuted a song dedicated to New Horizons is here with us right now. Brian May, guitarist from Queen, astrophysicist, and New Horizons participating scientist. Brian, this mission has inspired so many people, right? Maybe tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write New Horizons.
It totally inspired me. And getting to know the people who work in all the different departments of this thing, I've been absolutely enchanted by the whole thing. And once I wasn't exactly commissioned to write the song, but Alan and I talked, and he said it would be great if you could do some music for it. And I started to think this mission to me represents more than the mission itself. It actually represents to me the spirit of adventure and discovery and inquiry, which is inherent in the human spirit. So that's kind of what I was trying to build into the song, and I hope it comes across. But it is a tribute to this particular mission and all the people who made it work. It's something incredible, and this is a night none of us are going to forget.
No, and I think the reaction to the song out in the audience indicated, I think, what other people thought of it, too.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, I was nervous, because this is the moment when you present and you think, is this good enough or whatever. But I'm hoping that it will be a kind of catalyst to get the mission out to the public a bit more than it would have done, even so.
Now, you're a participating scientist on the New Horizons mission. And in fact, one of the things I know that you're interested in doing is the stereo imaging. And we've put some of your stereo images already on the project website.
Which makes me very proud. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yes, I mean, tell us how you put those together. And I mean, we're going to see more.
Yeah, this is what I put together for the Pluto mission. And I was just very lucky to be there at the right time. These two images look the same, but of course they're slightly different because they're from different angles. And with a stereoscope, I happen to put them on my mobile phone, but this little stereoscope, my OWL stereoscope, turns a mobile phone into a stereoscope, and this is what you see. And you see the thing in relief, you see it in 3D, and it leaps out. And
that's amazing. You. And I know you put that in books as well. I mean, and the stuff is available online for people to see this in an entirely new way.
Yeah, to me, it's a big thrill, and I'm hoping against hope that we can get these images in the same way for Ultima. How great to see Ultima in one of these things and to experience it close up, because it's like you could touch it in 3D.
Right, and you could say that, even just the one you did of the dot that was Ultima, that's going to clear anyway. That's available on pluto.jhapl.edu. You can find that on there.
Yeah. Well, we got two eyes for a reason, really. Evolutionary speaking, we have two eyes because it gives us so much more information on the universe around us. So this is me.
Brian, thank you for joining us this evening and for here on this program. And I can just say, just have fun with your colleagues this week when the data on Ultima starts coming in.
Can't wait. It's been such an honor to be with you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From rock legends to movie stars, there are lots of people excited about New Horizons. Now, here's a word from someone who knows about the extremes of space exploration.
Hello, Chris Pratt here. As you may know, I'm no stranger to guarding the galaxy. In fact, in my new film, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, you'll see my character Emmett take on aliens of all shapes and sizes. So you know I'm telling the truth when I say I've been to the extremes of outer space. And on New Year's 2019, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft is headed there too, 1 billion miles beyond Pluto, conducting the furthest flyby in history with a flight past the Kuiper Belt object named Ultima Thule. And small worlds like Ultima are the building blocks of the planets, and New Horizons is going to explore one of these icy time capsules for the very first time. How cool is that?
All right. So, New Horizons is now out beyond Ultima. I mean, it's out beyond Pluto, like 1 billion miles beyond Pluto. But we're still here at APL, and Joanna Wendell is with the crowd counting down to Ultima Close Approach. So let's go out to the floor with Joanna.
Hey, Mike. Thanks so much. We're here in the Countdown Central, and as you can see, it's a big old party. Everyone's having a great time. We are so excited to be here for this historic flyby. This is the farthest thing that humans have ever explored. We've got people here of all ages. We've got little kids running around in astronaut costumes. I am incredibly inspired by this crowd. So you might not know that much about Ultima Thule, so here are a few fun facts to get you educated.
All right, so back on the desk, we're joined by John Spencer. He's the New Horizons Deputy Project Scientist from the Southwest Research Institute. And John, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Mike.
Now, you led the planning for this encounter, and all the moves that New Horizons is making to reveal Ultima's secrets. We're going to check in on Eyes On to see what's happening with there, but if you could, tell us what the spacecraft is doing right now.
Well, right now, we're making our highest resolution observations of Ultima that we're going to make in the entire flyby, because we're just before closest approach. The lighting is perfect to get those really detailed images that are going to show us all the topography and all the details of the surface. We're doing two things simultaneously. We're doing a wide-angle scan with our wide-angle camera that is going to be covering a large swath of space around Ultima. Most of that scan is going to have nothing in it because we're not sure exactly where Ultima is. So it might be over here, it might be over here. And so we're going to just sweep our camera across that whole distance, so we'll catch it wherever it is. At the same time, we're using our telephoto camera to take just bang, 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 900 images in a row along the middle of that strip that will be hopefully centered on Ultima. We're really hoping that we're going to get the pointing right on those, but we're not quite sure if it will work or not. So that's our added bonus if we get those highest resolution images. And so hopefully they're happening right now.
I mean, I think that shows the confidence, one, the idea that you really just don't know completely yet, where this is. It's a much smaller object we had to explore before, but the plan, you seem pretty confident, though, that you guys put a good plan together, and now you're just watching it ride through.
Yes, we're optimistic now about how well this is going to go, and now it's just a matter of time to see the data coming down and see what we got. But right now we're taking those most beautiful images that we're going to get, and so it's just going to be amazing waiting to see those.
About how close is it going to come to Ultima Thule?
Closest approach just about now is about 2,000 miles, 3,500 kilometers, much closer than we came to Pluto. Because this is a small world, we want to get as close as we could to it to get the best possible pictures.
Right, and if I look at the countdown clock now, I mean, we're about 3 minutes away, and I'm looking at the distance, and I'm seeing about 2,700 miles. I don't think New Horizons has been closer to anything since launch.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. It's like half an hour after we left Earth orbit was the last time we were this close to anything.
To be at this point.
And so this is really It's very hard to believe, actually, that this is really happening right now out there 4 billion miles away.
That it's that close. We ask almost everything about this, too, but what do you think? What are you most excited to see?
I think I'm most excited to see the pictures that are being taken right now, because they're going to be the sharpest, show the most detail, have the best lighting to really show us what the Ultima is like, and we're really excited to see those pictures.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you go out to the floor and join your colleagues for the countdown. We're about 2 minutes away. In fact, we'll go out to the floor as well. So let's take it back out to Countdown Central.
Corral the kids. Hey, everybody. We have an American spacecraft 4 billion miles from home approaching Ultima Thule. The spacecraft is currently 2 minutes from its closest approach. It's moving at 9 miles per second. Think about that. In the next 2 minutes, it's going to travel the distance of the entire East Coast from Miami to Maine. If you were on board New Horizons right now, Ultima Thule would be about as big in the sky as a full moon over the Earth. Wow. But only dimly lit, because it's so far from the sun that the spacecraft is bathed in a light that's only the equivalent of a dusky twilight, about the equivalent of 100 full moons. At this very moment, while we're speaking and celebrating this event, New Horizons is taking its riskiest observation. It's trying to get the very highest resolution images as it's zipping by at 32,000 miles per hour. Okay, we're under a minute now, so we're going to start the countdown. 50 seconds to fly by. You guys ready? Are you psyched? Are you jazzed? 45 seconds to fly by. 40 seconds. Join me. 35 seconds. 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. 25. 20. We're almost there. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go New Horizons! Go New Horizons! Woo-hoo! 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 New Horizons is on departure. Go USA! Go NASA! Go New Horizons! All right. Thank God. Thank you. And thank you. They're going to do an interview now up here. A TV interview. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining in this. Yeah. Okay. You like that? You like that? Awesome.
Okay. All right, so there was at that moment. We are a minute past Ultima Thule. This is space history. No object has been explored up close this far from Earth. I mean, wasn't it enough to think that over 3 years away from Pluto, I mean, it took 9 years after launch to get to Pluto and 3 billion miles. Now another 3 years, billion miles beyond that, we're now past Ultima Thule, outbound from the farthest object yet to be explored. What happens next is the data will start to come back. We'll see tomorrow, 20 months for data from Ultima to ultimately reach Earth, and for the entire package for the science team to begin looking over just this treasure trove of information, of data, in what is literally an archaeological dig into the beginnings of the solar system. These are objects that have been literally untouched, believed to be unaffected since they were formed in this outside region of the solar system. What we're looking to do is go back to Mission Central, the Countdown Central, the excitement there. Joanna Wendell, I believe, is with Principal Investigator Alan Stern. So let's go back out to the floor.
Let's see where... Hey, Alan, so how are you feeling at this second right now?
I'm feeling so proud of our team and so happy for science and for NASA and what we could accomplish.
And what does this mean for space exploration?
Well, we set a record. Never before has a spacecraft explored anything so far away. I mean, think of it. We're 1 billion miles further than Pluto. And now we're going to keep going into the Kuiper Belt. And hopefully we'll have another flyby someday.
How excited are you for the data that's going to be coming down in the next weeks and months?
I can't wait. And this team is raring to go because for us, this really just starts with the downlink and transmissions that begin tomorrow and will last for 1.5 years.
All right, well, let's get back to celebrating. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, now for all the excitement here, actually mission operations, it's quiet. Right? Now, the names and messages from more than 30,000 people who registered to be beamed to Ultima have already washed over New Horizons and are heading deeper into the Kuiper Belt. And soon, we'll see if the real Ultima is like anything the small world we've been imagining and the designs that students in the Ultima Art campaign have been sending us over the past few weeks. Now, in about 10 hours, we'll await the signal from New Horizons, the phone home call to APL Mission Operations to let us know if all went as planned. Now, we'll be back on the air at about 10:15 a.m., so join us on NASA TV, nasa.gov, and pluto.jhupl.edu for this next major mission milestone. Again, Happy New Year, keep exploring with New Horizons, and we'll see you soon.
Floating through the galaxy, almost